Good morning, YouTube.
Morning. Can you see me? No. Oh, there I am.
Here, we do it that way.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing today? Hope you're doing good. Some of you may remember, not long ago, I put out an open invitation. Hang on, let the truck go by. I know him. Anyway, not long ago, we put out an open invitation that if any of you guys, our viewers, wanted to come down and see some of these amazing old historic sites that we post on our videos all the time, come on down and we'll be happy to show you, show you around a little bit. Well, guess what?
Somebody actually took you up on it.
Somebody took me up on it. I am here today with a new friend of mine. His name is Lynn Lamb. He drove down from Indiana, right? Drove all the way down from Indiana to come down here and take a look at some of these old historic sites. And it turns out that his family is actually from here, from Matewan.
Well, my sister's in-laws were from Matewan. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my sister's in-laws. So.
And they moved away in the 60s?
I think they moved up to Indiana in the early 60s because some of us, we'd been going to school since first grade.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it would have been early 60s, 63, 64, somewhere along in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've also got something else in common besides a love of history. He does tours too. Up in what do you do?
My wife and I lead the ghost tours up in southern Indiana in a little town called Scottsburg, Indiana, where we have the old county poor farm, which people have believed it's haunted for years and years, and my wife and I believe it's haunted. And so we lead the tours through there, and we have it available for 6-hour investigations for paranormal groups and what have you. So we'd be glad to have you.
Did you hear that, Heather?
Yeah, we just spent last Saturday night in there several hours, hunting ghosts, and so there's always footsteps or something going on in there. We have a good time.
I tell Heather all the time, if she'll bring me one home, I'll fry it. If she'll bring one home, I'll cook it.
I don't know, that might not be good eating. I don't know.
I don't know. But anyhow, we started off in Williamson, about 20 minutes from here, and our first stop is here in the town of the historic district, I should say, of Matewan, West Virginia. And that's Wingo's. That's where we're going to have lunch a little bit later. But our first stop is right back over here, right here in town. Our first stop is right back here, the old Matewan Massacre site. And for those of you who've watched our videos and know a little bit about this stuff, this is literally one of the most historically significant sites on this planet. I mean, this is arguably the middle class was born here. There's arguments for other places played a big role too, but this was the catalyst. This was what started it all. And the actual bullet holes are still in the wall from the gunfight and the mine wars that followed, and the middle class was a direct result.
Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it? But right there are the actual bullet holes from the gunfight. There's two, and there's some more, scattered, but these are down here. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here and tell Lynn a little bit about the place, and we'll move on to the next spot from here. And after this spot, they should start coming, like I was telling Lynn, in rapid fire succession. Once we leave from here, we'll be hitting them left and right. And we're going to see just how many we can get in today. Usually when I do trail tours, I'm limited by, it has to be near a trail.
Right.
But with vehicles, we're free to roam anywhere we want and go see as many as we can hit in a day.
I'm ready.
So I'm going to get off here, guys. I got a little bit of a history to impart here real quick. And we will see you guys at the next stop. Our second site, the Matewan Massacre participants. Here's Sid Hatfield Mayor Testerman. And Ed Chambers is right there, the tall one, center of your screen, right there.
Chambers, yeah.
That's him right there. And check this out. I've mentioned this before, but dedicated to the memory of Sid Hatfield for distinguished service and self-sacrifice in the cause of labor and advancement of the United Mine Workers of America.
It's neat.
And something else. Right there. On the bottom of it, two things. We will never forget. That's the only other thing I know that's been attributed to is 9/11.
Right.
And you know, that's kind of gives you an idea of how important, you know, he was to locals. And right at the bottom, his murder triggered the miners' rebellion at the Battle of Blair Mountain. This was the death that was the catalyst to, well, basically to the America that we have today. The fact that you're paid in money instead of mine script. The fact that you can't be fired because your boss said your wife was hot. A whole bunch of stuff like that is directly attributed to this man right here. This man right here is the reason that all of us are paid in money instead of mine script that's only good in my store. How about that? He may not have founded the country, but
Right.
he played a big role in shaping it, that's for sure. Beautiful old cemetery too,
It
isn't it?
is, I tell you, Dan.
Could you imagine though, carrying? They say that they carried his coffin up here, and you can see the brick buildings over there, town. They had to carry it all the way up there, across the bridge, all the way up through there, and then up this hill.
That'd been a job.
That they carried him by hand. They didn't want to, you know. Apparently there was a whole bunch who wanted to be pallbearers. You know, like half the town
Yeah.
wanted to
I
help.
wondered if they didn't kind of relay him up here in different
I wouldn't
ones.
doubt it. I
No.
wouldn't doubt it if there was. I would not doubt that a bit if
Yeah.
there was different people,
Because
because
it takes a lot to carry a
Yeah.
casket.
yeah, that far and coming up that hill too. You know, a lot of these back up on hills, they use oxen to drag the caskets up the hill.
Yeah.
But this one here, they just carried Sid up.
That's just a sign of respect.
Yeah, amazing little place, isn't it? It's kind of the importance. You know, you can't really overstate the importance here. You really can't.
But most people don't realize it.
I know. I
Unless
know.
they come down here or
Unless
they
they-
watch one of your videos.
Yeah, hear the story of what
to-
really happened.
Absorb that and realize
Yeah,
what the people down here did for them.
yeah. Bunch of hillbillies saved the world and nobody knows about it. It's weird, ain't it? Alright, now this is the third stop on our little whirlwind tour today. This right here is the hog trial cabin. And Preacher Ance Hatfield lived here. A lot of the stories that you've heard about the Hatfield McCoy feud actually took place here. If you were to pick one spot that was probably the most prolific in the entire feud, it would have to be this spot right here. This is where the, like I said, Preacher Ance lived here. This is where the hog trial occurred. This is where the election stabbing, Ellison was stabbed here. Johnsy and Rosanna, you've heard of them? They met right here at the corner at this fireplace.
During
this is
the
where they were.
election or something?
Yeah, on the day of the elections.
Yeah.
You have been watching videos.
I've been watching videos.
But they met right here. Like I said, if you're going to pick one spot that was probably the most prolific, you know, in the entire feud,
Right.
it would probably be this spot right here. I want to show y'all something real quick, something Lynn made us real quick. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Check this out. Heather, you're going to love this. Look at that. How cool is that, y'all? Thank you.
You're quite right.
Heather is going to love it. Heather's gonna love it. Okay, all right, set the camera down and we're gonna go over here and poke around a little bit, look at some stuff, maybe tell a story or two. We're doing good so far though. We're doing really good on time.
Good.
Pretty place, isn't it?
Sure is.
This guy here, he's a bit of a historian too. He knows all kinds of stuff. He tells you stories, you know, if you come down here, and he'll tell you stories and old pictures and all kinds of stuff. He's a real good dude.
Well, I mean, you know, why wouldn't you? If you're living on
Randall
McCoy's place, why wouldn't you
that's
bone
right.
up on it?
That's right. I think he said he's had 30,000 visitors sign his guest book or something like that. And we've only got 2 rules here. No feuding and no fussing. Them's fighting words. Now this spot here is a little bit unique. I mean, you know, just knowing what happened here.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
Family massacred. Did you see the video about Melvin, one of the sons, where they were hiding the night of the night that the house was burned? I did one where he went and hid. We found
I remember
where
you
he
done
testified.
one where you went up the holler.
Yeah, that's it.
And
That's
to where you kind of thought they might have hid. Yeah, I seen that.
That's it. Right back up in there. But this is, imagine that, you know, the old cabin right there. So when Diggers came, the Diggers TV show.
Oh, I see.
They had boundaries laid out.
Well, you can
where the
kinda
house.
see
Where the
it's
house
flat
set
and
right
kinda
there.
square. Wasn't a very big place, was it?
No, it wasn't a very big cabin. Even the story, you know, where Melvin, where they went up and hid, he was talking about one of the family members had, you know, bled out and died and was frozen to the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
that part of it.
could you just imagine, you know, what that must have
That
been
night
like?
would have seemed like a month long. You
Yeah,
know, to them that are hiding back there.
That is one harsh night right there. Your entire house is burned down. Several of your family members have been shot. One of them's with you, frozen to the ground, and now you're hiding back in the woods in sub-freezing temperatures, praying for daylight.
Right.
But anyway, I guess we probably need to move on to our next one.
Skip over here and
Yeah.
take pictures.
Yeah, you want to check out the well? Here, let me get out. I want to get your picture.
No, you're right.
That you can actually get moonshine that's made from Randall's well, using Randall's recipe, using his exact water from his well.
I'll be darned.
So, you know, if you buy Poly Hollow, you're literally getting Randall McCoy's.
Danger in me buying any.
Me either. Me either. Randall's well.
Cool.
Very, isn't it?
Yeah, you can almost make out the foundation.
Yeah,
of
where the cabin sat.
the cabin.
They had yellow lines, yellow ribbon right here.
I remember, like I said, I loved that show, Diggers, and I remember when they done that, and that's been several years ago.
Does it say the year? No, it does not say the year they did it. But National Geographic Channel, Diggers.
Yeah, it was a real good show. I watched it all the time. You know.
Yeah, they found a bunch of stuff here.
I think they done a dig on Blair Mountain and found shell cases.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt if you can find them on Blair Mountain. Did you see the one we found the jar of coins up behind Dave Lance's?
Yeah, I did.
That was cool. That was cool. And the big Bowie knife, the big Bowie knife turned out to be from the 70s.
Right.
But it's still cool just because it was buried in the woods behind Devil Ance's house to me.
There's still a story there.
Exactly.
You know, how did this get here?
For real.
You know, probably some kid, you know.
That's what I thought was interesting about it. You know, how did this big Bowie knife get buried in the woods behind Devil Ance's house? Okay, sorry guys, I almost forgot y'all. This one here, what is this, 4th, 5th sight?
I think so, yeah, 4th. I've lost track, Lee.
Me too. This one, in case y'all couldn't tell by the sign, is the pawpaw tree site. And we've been down here for about, what, 20 minutes?
Something like that, yeah.
They're just telling stories and old legends and ghost stories and historical stories, and we've just been talking up a storm. We stood there so long we got a flat spot smushed out in the leaves. So but anyway, just thought I'd show y'all this one. We managed to get in the pawpaw tree site. This one is this is where the 3 McCoy boys from the cabin, the stabbing at the cabin where Ellison was killed, this is where the 3 boys were killed, right here. And this one is not only a historic site, this one is also probably one of the creepiest ghost stories you've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come down here after dark.
And he does like, you know, paranormal anyway.
Yeah.
And it's a super creepy ghost story. Okay, we have stopped off in the North Pole at Santa's house. Either that or it could
We have definitely made a wrong turn somewhere then.
it could possibly be Wingo's and mate one for lunch,
sense.
but it's either the Wingo's or Santa's house. You know, one of the two. What'd you get?
I got
Chicken
the
and-
Boston butt pork. Looks delicious. I can't wait.
I just got the cheeseburger. Look at that thing. Coming in a good looking cheeseburger. Real meat, not some goofy patty. Alright, we're gonna pig out and head on out and go someplace else after this. Alright, this is what, the 6th stop, 7th?
I think if you count Wingo's,
Yeah, I guess count lunch. Yeah, it'd probably be about 7. This is Devil Ance's old home. I should have started out here. Devil Ance's home place. See, some of y'all probably seen this in our videos before. We've been over a few times doing videos, and we just talked to Jack out there a minute ago. He was going to give us the tour, but he's having lunch right now. He said, "You know the stuff is just as well as I do, Leo. You can do it." But there is a few good, really cool things in here. This side's the gift shop side, and the museum side's over here. So we'll kind of eyeball the gift shop side real quick. These right here, hey, you know what these are? Railroad nails?
Yeah, I seen one of your videos where they test the hardness of the rails and stuff.
Yeah.
See, I learned
That's
some
real.
stuff on your videos.
I'm telling you. I thought those were cool. The way they did that, the way they test different types of wood.
Just
And,
test the hardness.
yeah. It's a good idea, though.
Yep.
Old time puzzles. I used to have something like that when I was a kid. Oh, gel candle. They'll say Mountain Moonshine. Had Jack got a liquor license?
Well, just wait. He probably will have some. No. Everything else you could get.
Let's see. All kinds of stuff in there.
Yeah. Pet treat launcher. I couldn't figure out what that was.
Yeah. Pet treat launcher. I got that shirt and that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got that one and that one.
Riding with the devil.
Yeah.
Hatfield.
Choco Rocks.
I bought these same blanks to engrave on.
Did you?
Yeah.
He does engraving.
Yeah.
They both do. Him and Jack were both outside talking about their engravers and stuff a minute ago. right, you ready for the museum part? How about a coonskin cap?
You had one over.
You need there's a skunk cap. Oh, drop 1 floor. So anybody needs a skunk cap, you know where to get one. Now this side is the museum side. This is the cool side. That is the crown jewel. We'll come back to him. That's the crown jewel of Jack's collection right there. Wow, check that out. Tobacco stand. A tobacco box.
Oh, yeah.
That is wild.
My dad used to own a little gas station, grocery store, and we sold that Prince Albert in a can.
But there's tons of stuff. Where's the jar? I think the jar was over there. That we found, the jar with the coins in it.
Money in it?
Yeah.
That looks like it right over there.
Yeah, that's him right there. you have been watching the videos, ain't you? I remember this.
Yeah,
this
you
is
found some of this stuff too.
Yeah. This is some of the stuff that we found here on the property. I found some of this stuff. I found that buckle. Let's see. Danny and I found that lid. I remember that one. I remember how half of it was gone. Should be a little thimble in there and some other stuff too. Just various artifacts here that were found on the property,
Right.
on Devalance's property. Legs from his coal stove.
That's neat how they colorized that picture.
Yeah.
That makes it more real.
Yeah. There was one. Have you seen the one where the little boys look all mad?
Yeah, it's this one down here.
Yeah. They wanted to hold guns.
Yeah, they will.
That's it. They were
I would've
mad.
been mad
They
too.
were mad. Because they didn't get to hold guns. Everybody else got to hold guns, and they didn't. They were mad. John C.
I understand. I would have
We
been
done
mad too.
a reward
Oh,
for
yeah.
John C. Hatfield for bootlegging. $500 reward for John C. Hatfield. That was a lot of money back in.
There was a lot of money back there.
Bullet casings found on the home site here. We found a few of those. Yeah. It's the flood. There was a big flood. Was a containment pond, sludge pond, slurry pond.
Oh, yeah.
That had breaks in it, and they told them that it was going to break, and the coal company didn't listen, didn't fix it. The thing broke, and I mean, it killed.
It says there 125 were killed, 121
I was going to
injured,
say, I think it was like 100 or so that were killed.
and over 4,000 were left homeless.
Yep. Yeah, the record. Yeah. There's a song. Yeah, there's a Hatfield McCoy album, by the way. It's by a man named Jimmy Wolford. Guest book.
Yep.
Turn the camera back on for something. You know what I say about that's the good thing about being the video guy. Once you end the video, you can just push the button and turn it back on. Check this out. Look what I just found.
What'd you find? Can you see this? I'm glad I didn't repeat that.
It's walnuts. Get it? Walnuts, guys. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Everybody. That's tell me it's made out of nuts. Did you see the briefcase? Did you get that?
What briefcase?
The underwear.
Oh, okay.
Billy briefcase.
Oh, yeah, I get it. A hillbilly briefcase. I get it. You know, it actually opens and everything, don't it?
Sew it up down there where you carry something in it.
Hopefully we ain't using like Johnson's drawers or nothing, are we?
Oh, no. They belong to.
We used to make these when I was a little kid. Rubber bands and shoot the old pop tabs and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Cowboy bullwhip. I could kind of use a squirrel hat or skunk hat. I'm not sure what I need it for, but I kind of want one.
Here's your hillbilly belly button brush.
What is it?
A hillbilly belly button brush.
Oh, tell me no. That hillbilly belly button brush. Jack ain't right, is he? There's something wrong with that boy. What's these? Oh, pencils? A twig pencil. Where were these at? Oh.
Under there, where the can of whoop ass is.
Oh, but where's that at?
Right down in that second shelf there.
Oh, okay.
Can with the lids.
Oh, yeah. It's a jar of hillbilly whoop ass, y'all. I just carry it in my pocket. I never use the jar.
Yeah. Okay.
What's these?
We got a book about the Mothman over here.
Hillbilly shot glass.
We went to the Mothman Festival a few years ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
All right, now this one is the Hatfield Cemetery. You can get a little Devilance Hatfield Cemetery. He's buried right up here on this hill, and we are going to attempt the hill. That's pretty, ain't it? Imagine what that looked like when it was new and painted.
Keep out after dark. Private road.
Yeah, apparently there was some issues with people wanting to drink on the graveyard at night or something, you know?
We've got a little cemetery there up home. It's a favorite place for kids to go and ghost hunt and drink and party. Right. And they just go in there and get drunk, tear stones up.
Yeah.
It's not very good.
How y'all doing?
Good, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
The walk up's hard.
Is it?
Walk down ain't much easier.
Walking down ain't too bad.
Yeah, gravity's kind of helpful on the way down. But Lynn, it's like you said, you've come all this way.
Yep.
May as well climb the hill. Well, as you guys can see, we made it up the hill.
Barely.
More or less, huh? So he was just saying, I can't imagine why anybody would want to bury, you know, people up here on a hillside like this, up this far.
You know, if I'd brought a family member up here to bury him, I'd have probably said, well, I'll see you when I die and they bury me up here.
Yeah. No kidding. Well, could you imagine Levice coming up here during Devilance's funeral? You know?
Or just to visit.
Yeah. Which Devilance, he cheated. He came up. There's a trail. I don't know if you saw. Well, I know you saw the video, but right there, you come up from behind there, and it comes up around the hill and comes back down in here, and that's how Devilance
done that on horseback.
Right. He used Fred to stay off the main road, you know, away from McCoy's, that sort of thing. But he's buried here. Levice's buried right there beside of him. Now, these two here, Troy and Elias, do you know about them?
No, I haven't read much on them.
Okay, well, they actually, if you notice their death dates, October 17th, 1911 on both of them. Did you notice that?
I did not. I hadn't looked at
And they brought them up here. They're both buried in the same hole. Both coffins were put down in the same hole. Imagine that. It's not two graves. It's one grave with two coffins and two headstones. But it's one big grave.
Well, I mean, that really makes sense instead of
Yeah,
digging
they died
two
together.
individual.
They
You
died
just dig
together.
one
Dig
big hole
one
and-
big hole and put them both in there. That's what they did. And French, right here, you notice he's right at Devil Ance's feet.
Uh-huh.
Now, we did a video on French here, too, called the Devil's Right Hand.
I've
And
never heard of French, I don't think.
he was there for a lot of the stuff that, that the Hatfields were involved in feud-wise. And he was, really handy on the business inside, too. So, he worked for for Devil Ance. And
Was he a brother
but
to
he was,
Devil Ance?
he was basically he was an employee.
Oh, okay.
But he was an extremely...
Oh, well, yeah, because his last name's
right.
different.
He was an extremely loyal one. A good friend, employee, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's his wife right there. She's
Yeah,
up there, too.
I've seen that. I've seen it said wife of French
Yep.
Ellis.
Johnsy?
Yeah.
Johnsy Hatfield? Johnsy's right here. Right beside his mommy and daddy. Right there.
Yep.
This is Johnsy's.
1922.
There's a whole bunch of historic characters up in
I'm
here.
sure.
And this one right here, it says killed by accident is what it said. But we looked it up. It was a mining accident, slate fall.
Oh. I had a great-great-granddad that was killed by accident, but it was an accident of mistaken identity.
Really?
He was, this was back during the Civil War in Arkansas, and he just happened to be with 2 or 3 other guys, and one of the guys' last name was Oliver, and these Union, I can't remember the exact story, if they were Union men or if they were Confederate men, but they happened up on my great-great-granddad and these 3 other men. Well, the last name of one of them was Oliver. So they just assumed that was the man they were looking for,
Right.
and so they just assumed that all the other 3 were guilty by association, so they lynched them. Well, and shortly afterwards, somebody come up and said,
You got the wrong
what have
guy.
you done? And they said, well, we caught this guy, last name Oliver, and they said, that's not the right one. So they were killed by accident.
Wow. Mistaken identity.
Mistaken identity.
Huh. But for those of you who are curious about the Hatfield McCoy, the Hatfield graveyard, where Devil Ance is, we have an older video. One of our videos, we kind of went through here and covered pretty much all of the graves, who they were, what they died from, and, just a whole bunch of different information about, all the interesting characters here in the graveyard and where Devil Ance is buried at.
Oh, this is just a baby.
Yeah.
Phyllis Frederick Browning, born and died January 5th, 1933. Sleeping.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and shut my camera down. Like I said, we're going to hang out for a minute or so. There's Tennis right there. He's one burned Devil Ance's house down for insurance money. That's what happened to the old house.
Oh, yeah, I see him there now.
Tennis burned it.
Isn't he one of the boys in the picture that was mad because he couldn't hold the
Yeah,
gun?
yeah. You do know your history.
Well,
You do know your
I
history.
learned it all from you, Leroy. I have absolutely no signal out here.
Yeah, you don't really get a whole lot of cell service out here.
I would have thought up on this hill we got something. 4 or 5, maybe.
We just discovered something. I didn't know about this. Heather didn't know about this.
First,
We were just coming off the hill from Devil Ance's statues right there, about center of your screen, behind those 2 pines. We just found some more graves. I didn't know those was back there. All the leaves are gone. I just happened to look up and saw a headstone over there. So we'll have to come back and see who's over there.
That looks like it might be a little easier to walk than what we just made.
Yeah, it does, don't it? I'll come back up and document those. We'll have to come back up and see who that is, Heather. Got to come back.
Might be some more of them lost graves.
That's right. And now this will be the last stop of our day.
We've made a day of it.
Yeah, we have. One good thing about doing this in the car, though, I'll say you can roll up the window. You can't do that in a side-by-side. You can just roll up a window, turn the heat on. This is nice, man.
Yep.
Is this how everybody lives?
Living high on the hog.
Tell me about it, man. I'm used to freezing to death and getting rained on. But that's Aunt Betty's house right there. On the other side, you see the stairs going up? That's where the baby's grave is at, on the other side. Right straight up that hill. I will warn you, it's 152 stairs.
If I
Straight
can climb
up.
that hill at Devil Ance's grave, I surely can make 152 stairs.
You want to do it?
Yep, let's do it.
Let me get my coat. Let me go grab my coat real quick. A little bit rainy, guys, but we're not far. It's just right there. Let me grab my coat and we'll head on up the hill.
All right.
Well, guys, we braved the stairs. 152 of them. Straight up, which I think this is 136 right here. If I remember right. I've counted them more than once. I've been here a few times. But we were just talking. And y'all saw, I just showed you the stairs, 152 stairs coming up here. When the baby died, and it's buried right here, there's a plaque, talks about it right there. But the baby's grave is actually right here. And can you imagine? Now, Roseanne, you know, Rosanna and Johnsy, I'm sure y'all have heard. When Rosanna's baby died and it was brought up here on this mountainside, Rosanna, she more or less lost her mind when her baby died. And she climbed this hill every day. That is a whole nother level of grief. Grieving yourself to death. Yeah, that's the same plaque. They have the other one down at the bottom of the hill.
Oh, okay.
They both say the same thing.
Oh, okay.
But the baby's grave is right there. And you can see Sarah Elizabeth,
Oh, they left coins.
1881 to 1881. And here's the original stone. And then this one was added later. But hey, we made it, didn't we?
We did.
This is what, 8 cents?
Something like that. Yeah, I've lost track by now, Leo.
That's good. That's good. I'm
Well,
glad to
I tell
hear
you
that.
what,
I'm glad to hear that.
It's been a good day. I appreciate you. You got that camera on?
Yeah.
If anybody's out there that even thought about taking one of Leo's tours, do it. Because it's well worth it. He's going to show you some sights. It ain't going to be an hour-and-a-half tour. So,
No,
get your walking shoes on, hill climbing shoes.
yeah, them too. Yeah, we've been out. What? It's about what is it? What time is it now?
Well, I don't know.
It's 5:10.
Mine says
We pulled out
3:25.
about
How's
10,
that?
so about 7 hours running
Yeah.
around, something like that.
I bet you can't find another tour that lasts that long anywhere.
We've definitely
I-
covered a bunch of stuff now. We
and
have
I've
definitely
enjoyed every
covered.
minute of it.
If any of y'all would like to come down, take a ride, come out and see some of these places for yourself, give me a holler.
Do it.
We'll do that.
Yep, do it. Well worth it.
Yeah. You ready?
Yep.
All right. We got to go back down now. But I'm thinking that downhill might be easier than coming up them,
hope
so we'll take that as a
We
win.
just slide down the hill.
Yeah, really. But we get back down to the cars. We got about 10 minutes or so. We'll be back where we started. I tried to make it a big loop. Or loop-ish anyway. Well, we've made it back to Williamson. And there goes Lynn right there. Our very first guest viewer on a tour. Thank you, Lynn. Oh, you'll see this video later, man. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you. As you guys can see, it's dark. We left out this morning. We pulled out of this parking lot here in Marathon in Williamson at about 10 o'clock this morning. And we covered, just guessing, I'm going to say 60, 70 miles, something like that. Just hitting one cool site, one historic site after another. Threw in a really cool lunch stop. We had a great day. I guess that's pretty much about the end of it. It's getting dark and my guest is gone. So I guess it's about time for Leo to go home. So guys, from me and on behalf of Heather, I don't know, I think y'all can see me. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you coming along. Hope you enjoyed our little bitty tour. And if any of you guys would like to come down and go for a ride, see some of these really amazing places, give me a holler. We'll fix you up. Anyway, this is Leo from Williamson, West Virginia. And we'll see you guys next time. Hillbillies out.